Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Great to have you all here tonight. My name is Fernando Ramirez, a regional director with MWR. We're going to get started with our training shortly. Make sure to continue to send the invites. I'm going to be doing the entire training tonight. Dr. G.W. Parker right now is taking some medication. But he's here with us, obviously, just to kind of support the entire team. So great to have each and every one of you. If you can let us know where you're chiming in from in the chat, we are actually being recorded in our channel, Diversified Cash Flow. So that's where we keep our entire team's recordings when it comes to conversations and trainings. So tonight, take out your notepad because what we're going to teach you tonight, it's something that is going to allow you to simplify things and duplicate your daily activities and what you need to do with your business. So if you can let us know where you're chiming in from, Hector Cano from Los Angeles, California. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, hello, sir. Great to have you here. Anyone else? Jameson Rowe, champion of champions, our tremendous leader from Cleveland, Ohio. Anyone else? Anyone else that wants to share where you're connecting from? And we're going to get started. So we're going to say a few more hellos. All right, Annabelle, California, is in the house. Tampa, Lovey, great to have you here. Randy, Kristen, great to have you here, my friend. All right, so why don't we do this? Let's get started. We're going to make sure that once we start, I want you to fasten your seatbelts because we're going to take off for an amazing training that will collaborate with the things that you want to accomplish with MWR. As a matter of fact, tomorrow, our promotion is wrapping up. So we want to make sure that tonight you take a lot of notes so you push towards the end of this promotion from now until tomorrow to be able to be recognized. They're taking away our recognitions for our promotions, the rank up to the bank. So they're going to give us our last recognition in our next upcoming event with our company. Okay, so this is what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen. We take our time to be able to solidify the trainings and give you enough meats and potatoes that you can actually put into work for your business build. And I'm going to project my screen. So let me see here. You know what I'll do? I'm going to leave the participation room open, cameras, and unmuting yourself if you choose to participate. You can do that as soon as we pause for a quick minute to be able to just kind of digest what we're learning today. Okay, so what are some of the things that we're going to learn from what we're doing here? Just a second. We're actually going to talk a little bit about our lifestyle legacy industry training. Okay, we are separating ourselves from our industries in network marketing. We are in our own industry, which is lifestyle legacy industry. And this is one of the things that I enjoy about what we do. It makes us feel special. So wherever you are now, or if you have done network marketing before, I've been doing network marketing for 31 years of my life. I've made a lifestyle out of it. It has allowed us to enjoy walkaway income. But when we're walking into an industry, and this is actually what was brought from Mr. Andamo Tolson. One day he said this: "We are in the legacy industry business." So when they ask you, "What do you do?" I'm a part of the legacy industry business. That creates a niche. It creates curiosity when you're asked, right? You no longer have to say, "Well, I'm a network marketer professional." No, I'm in the industry. I'm in the lifestyle legacy industry. We specialize in helping families, stop trading time for dollars and have systems working for them. So this right here makes us a very unique concept to be able to educate our communities with what we have here with MWR. So it's not about what works, it's all about what duplicates. And I want you to think about that. And these are some of the things that a lot of us have a hard time understanding is the duplication aspects, okay, of the business. So the business allow us to be able to participate in our own financial rescue. So we got to learn to be able to defend ourselves against, the uncertainty that most people are facing every single day by not understanding finances. All right. So if you can, co-host, allow our team partners to come in, please. You can see really behind the screen here. So I'd appreciate if you can just kind of pay attention to the people that are coming in. Thank you. All right. So you are either playing the money game or you are being played in the money game. So what we're let's see if you understand these concepts, it gives you leverage when you're having conversations with people. Okay, so I was played by the money game before I knew about this industry. Now I play the money game. See, it gives you leverage. And people become curious when you start to use a language that is not too common. I was being played by the money game, but I found the secret sauce formula where now I play the money game. The money game doesn't play me anymore. I'm a part of the industry, which is called lifestyle legacy industry, where we're taught principles in how to have money and assets working for us. You see how that makes you feel? It makes you feel confident. It makes you feel powerful when you're having conversations. Okay, so this is basically what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk a little bit about what we need to develop when it comes when it comes to understanding what we do. It's developing the mindset. When you develop the mindset, it allows you to understand what skills you need to learn. So mindset gives you the flexibility. Okay, it gives you the inquisitive to be able to kind of know what's happening out there in the marketplace. You have like a sixth sense of communication because when you are trained to be able to tackle what's going on out there, you have confidence to be able to prospect anybody that comes across your way. You evaluate the pros and the cons of anything that is going on and taking place. This morning's training was amazing with Mike Randolph. I mean, he really puts you in the state of mind frame that we have so much power, especially now that we are launching the precious metal concept to invest and have residuals working for us. So that really gives us that certainty to know that the company is positioning itself to develop the biggest millionaires. And we're talking about the most millionaires in the industry. Okay, so that gives you the confidence. You evaluate the pros and the cons. So what are the pros and the cons? Right here, I don't see none. I only see the goodness of what we have here. There's a lot of things out there that people that aren't happy with. So it allows you to compare notes where they are and where you can bring them to. Think about the outside the box. You have to constantly be thinking outside the box. Anytime you get stuck inside the box, you start to become a part of everybody's thinking, right? Where you think that there's no possibilities. And when you think outside the box, you always see the possibilities and it stretches you to be able to think different. Accept your mistakes. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. If you're not making enough mistakes, you're not working your business hard enough. You've got to accept the fact that the territory comes with a lot of mistakes you're going to learn to confront and improve yourself. So, it'll give you better understanding in how to be with business people, how to attract them into your team, getting togethers, business conferences, digital forums, understanding the market, determining why you started the business, and be productive and save time. So this is basically what we do. Okay, so we're going to show you right now what is it that you need to learn. Is developing the skills, the occupation, the goals, setting right career, learn and knowledge, motivation. So this is what we teach you, and I want you to take a look at this. I found this, and we're going to convert this into what we are here in MWR. We're talking about customer loyalty. And I feel that the starting point of all achievement is in the bottom, right? Where right now, if you don't have a team that you want to have, within your group of work, you're going to spend a lot of time prospecting. So when you're prospecting, if you look to the left and the bottom, these are people that don't know your proposition or your offer. A suspect is someone who comes across your company promotion. They are a suspect for your company. So how are you going to be able to spread the word? You're going to have to work your list. And every time you work your list, people don't know what your proposition is. Okay. And you got to get good at doing a lot of that work. So I'll give you an example. When I got back in the industry back in 2009, again, for the second time, I needed to really build a big funnel of the people that I was going to talk to. I desperately wanted to get back in the game. Why? Because the first experience that I had working 10 years in the industry gave me the experience to know what it takes to make a lot of money, but very little experience and how to keep it. So I went back to having nothing for 5 years. I thought I could find something outside of the industry. I couldn't find anything. So when I figured the formula out again, I said, listen, there's nothing out there that is going to pay me what I've been paid. I got to get back on my grind and I'm going to go all out. And that's what I'm doing right now. My wife and I are putting a list of contacts again. We're knocking on doors and we're doing this a lot. So, suspects, you got to fill in the blanks. I'm working on sheets. I'm working on social media. I'm doing everything that I can to spread the word. So right now, I am very uncomfortable building my list of contacts. They need to know what we're all about. So 75% of your time is going to be doing this. If you're not doing this in your business, you're not moving the business. This is the foundation of your business here. Why? Because the more you do your business, you're going to find your suspects in the masses, right? The suspects are going to be someone that is probably interested, but they're truly not yet until they really get to know you. And when they start to get to know you on your follow-ups, they become prospects. If the person is interested in your proposition, they become a prospect. They climb up the ladder. The climb up of the ladder has begun. It's marketing job to give them a helping hand to get up the ladder. So now you've earned their trust. So what did I do working this current list that I'm working? I started with a new list of contacts on my phone, and I'm cleaning up a lot of phone numbers that are in there using space that are people don't own those phone numbers again because they don't own these phone numbers. They're either disconnected or somebody else got those phone numbers. So going back to the list, I brought in two new team partners. Okay, they were still a part of the suspect list, but they became a prospect because I became really good in staying in touch with them, earning their trust. Until now, they have enrolled. So they have enrolled as directors, but I still got to see them as a customer. We got to show them the entire process to be able to get them to fall in love with what we're doing. A customer is someone who purchases either your product or service. This stage needs to go well to encourage customers to come back and buy from you. So what is the goal? We have a monthly membership, right? 149.97. So we got to get them engaged in testing and trying every service that we have. And with one of our team partners that signed up for 249.97, they're at that stage right now. Today, she finally decided to become a client. Client are those who come back to the business and make an ongoing purchase. That means she's ready either to refer people or pay the second month of 149.97. Does that make sense? Why? Because of the time that I have dedicated bringing her from here through here to here to here now. Well, today, the engagement increased from a client to an advocate. She asked me about the compensation plan. So I broke everything down. And look what happens when they become advocates. Okay. In this instance, would be a marketing director, a true marketing director. An advocate promotes your business on your behalf. They are so happy about your product and service that they not only buy from you again and again, but also tell the story to other people. So let's look at the ladder. Look to the right. So you're going to spend 75% of the time doing this process. So a lot of people are not going to be ready. You're only going to be able to bring up maybe 10% of them. So from 10% of them, you're going to start signing up people, which is a number that is a lot smaller. Once you sign up people and they become your customers, get them engaged so they can become your clients until finally they become your advocates. Okay, now what happens? Let me tell you what happens in 31 years, what I've seen, so you can understand that the process of business takes time. I'm giving myself 5 years. Okay, we are 3.5 years in this business because I know it takes 5 years of grinding to build something. Eventually, what happens? We're gonna go to the other side of the ladder, and we're gonna see exactly where most of your time is gonna be spent. When you build a team of people that are committed to what you're doing, now you're going to be spending 75% of your time with them. Okay, what do I mean by that? At this point in time frame, when you go to the other side of the ladder, now what you're doing is you're just supporting them. How? With storytelling. Now they invite you to come to their events, whether it's in a Zoom, a live event. So you're busy with them sharing your story of what it took for you to come from here to here. You see how your time begins to change? probably you're going to have a few clients that you're helping, a few customers that you're enrolling, a few prospects that you're talking to, by the way, conversations, and then eventually suspects. You're going to find them maybe when you travel to go see your team on the airport, right? People are going to start just asking you questions, or when you go out with your spouse somewhere. So it'll become a very casual business. Why? Because now you have a story to share. See, this is what we see coming out of what we're doing. And you got to give yourself enough time to be able to spend a lot of your time working your list of contacts. If you're not doing this, which is the most important thing in your business, is working your list. You're not working your business. Working your business is working your list, okay? And my wife is a witness of that. We're doing everything possible to knock on doors. Everything possible. I'm using phone calls, I'm using texting, voice messaging, I'm recording videos online. I'm putting a lot of work. You know why? Because time is ticking and we have to rebuild back. Okay, so that way, it gives us the opportunity to be able to continue to grow and create a greater experience. All right. So here's what we have: one more day to be able to finish strong. I would encourage you to do what I'm doing. Work on your list of contacts tonight. Do it with your entire heart and soul. Put it together. I want you to grab your phone just the way I did and start working your list of contacts. And you know how great it feels when you get so busy prospecting? You don't care about the no's. You don't hear the no's. You don't even pay attention to the no's. All you know is that every no that you get in front of you is bringing you closer to a yes. Those conversations are going to bring you closer to a yes. Not only that, but the way you come across, it becomes better. Your conversations become more accurate with a sense of urgency that you don't have too much time to spend. Okay. I've been doing that today. I've been doing that yesterday. I've been doing that every single day. And I'm going to do it for 90 days. Okay. Why? Because my goal is to get to 36 active personally sponsored directors. Right now, we are at 22. Okay. We kind of stuck on 22. Some people cancel, we have to replace them. So this is what you got to do in order for you to become, strong in this business and have that mindset of prosperity. And it's the only way that you're going to get to the top in this business. All right. So take advantage of this promotion. It's wrapping up tomorrow. Rank up between today and tomorrow. A lot can happen if you start knocking on doors. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about what is it that we have. We have leverage every time we have conversations. Most people are in the need of eliminating debt, reducing taxes, paying their bills, restoring their credit. So we know for a fact that when we're going to go out there and prospect, we're going to find a lot of people in that area. Okay. So we need to help them how to become engaged with every process of the services that we have. Once we're able to have them keep more of their money, working together as a community with them, we're going to show them how to do the important things that money gives us, which is have money work for them. So transitioning them from this area here to the other services that we have is going to take some time. Why? Because we have to show them a reprogramming from the way they've been thinking about money to what is it that they need to learn what to do with money, which is have money work for them. All right. So once we're able to do that, I'm still, as a matter of fact, I'm still experiencing activating some of the services. My concern right now is the compensation plan. Once the compensation plan is where we want it to be, we're going to start thinking more about this. With the only service that we're really aiming to really push very hard is precious metals. Precious metals right now is hot. It's at $50 per ounce, 51, 52. It got to 52 last night. So we are looking in ways in once the contracts are out, is to invest as much as we can in precious metals and put the precious metals to compete with the compensation plan. That's the goal that we have that we're going to accomplish. Put the precious metal rate of return against the compensation plan of our memberships, and we're going to put those two positions to compete one with one another. Okay, so we're seeing that. I came in this business for one reason and one reason only: the compensation plan. When I understood the compensation plan, I knew we were sitting on a gold mine. So once you activate the compensation plan, it gives you more room space to think about investing. Okay, because now you have enough leverage with income, the MWR income, the compensation plan. I'm telling you, I've experienced making $50,000 a month. And the feeling is amazing. You're walking in clouds, because one thing I learned the second time around in the industry was not to spend our money, is to put our money to work for us, not knowing that the company was going to turn down, they were going to close doors. I don't know. God was getting us ready for something big. We knew that MWR was the one. So when you know that you have the financial resources, it gives you so much power, so much leverage on your conversations, because you got peace of mind. But see, when you don't have it, you have to act as if you already have it. That's why you have to learn to protect your thinking against negative thinking. Remember, we don't have lack of money. We have lack of ideas. There's a ton of money out there. MWR has a ton of money to pay us, but we have to learn to overcome our fears and act as if already. You got to act as if you are already here on your conversations, okay? Whereas, shifting all your expenses back into income and putting that money to work for you, all right? So now, eventually, right, business funding comes very available and very handy. But the first funding you need to build is your income. How much money you want MWR to pay you? It's all up to you. All right. So let's take a look at this. OPM, assets, and OPE. OPM stands for other people's money. Assets and OPE stands for other people's efforts, a network. Our revolutionary three-step system enables you to become and stay wealthy using proven financial strategies and the opportunity to create passive and residual income streams. It's remarkably simple. Build your network first. Use the bank's money to purchase income-producing assets and appreciate over time, while sharing these systems with others to leverage their success as well. Here's how it works. Your network equals your network. So the first thing that we need to build is a network. So what do we need to do? We need to build our first three positions right here. As a CEO of your company, your responsibility is to build these three positions in front of you. And it's going to take some work. It's going to take a lot of prospecting. Okay. Once you're able to do that and you teach them well, eventually your network will begin to grow. So what happens when your network grows? Your net worth has the power to grow. Think about how much money you would like the compensation plan to pay you. Think about the number, a clear, concise number. Okay. So how do we measure that? We're going to go, hold on. Let me just kind of do this. I should have done this prior. Give me a quick minute. Just a second. I see David here. Congratulations, David. David got promoted. That's awesome. I like that. There we go. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm going to go back to the previous page. I just want you guys to pay attention to this right here. Okay. All right, so I want you to think about your network. So if we structure the network on three legs, it gives you the opportunity to multiply your efforts. I'd rather get 1% of 100 people's efforts rather than 100% of my own. That's J. Paul Getty statement. 1%. So think about this. The first thing that we need to learn to do is to build our front line, our first three. The quicker we can build this first three right here, okay, it's going to give you the leverage to be able to start to see a little further down the line to eventually multiply to 12. So Martha and I have been stuck right here for a little while. But you know what? It's not bad to be stuck right here for a little while. And obviously, we're so much accustomed in making 10 times these figures. but at least it gives us enough leverage. So the first thing that we did when we started this business was to be able to have us both do this business full time. So the first thing that we thought about is how quick can we jump to the positions that can allow us to cover our expenses right here. The rest we had invested it. We narrowed down overheads, lots of it, invest and save our money until we solidify our business. So we've been doing this for 3.5 years, generating these kind of figures right here, plus the bonuses, right? But think about this. We're getting ready to be able to build our income the way we have been accustomed to, which is right about here, right here. We have been accustomed to these kind of figures. But being uncomfortable right here gives us the endurance to work our list of contacts. We have no other income stream here in the household. Now, let me ask you a question. If there was nothing out there that could generate income for you and for your family, would you starve yourself to death if MWR was the only thing that was out there to make money? I always used to ask my question when I got in this industry. I said, if there's no other income stream and this is the only thing that I have to rely on, I'm gonna work this business so hard that I'll make sure that this is the only source that we have to generate enough income until we build it strong. That's the way you gotta see it. The minute that you decide to see this business that you're going all out, and if you have other investments and other income streams right now, keep them and be thankful that you have them. But you got to start thinking a little different, which is outside the box, in order for you to be able to maximize the compensation plan with MWR. That's why my wife and I decided when we came in here, we were going to go all out because we enjoy our freedom. And how do you protect your freedom? Working your list of contacts. See, the more you engage people into your dreams, as a matter of fact, I contacted a young lady today. I called her up, she didn't answer, and I left her a message. And this is what I said. I'm not going to mention her name, obviously. Hey, how you doing? This is Fernando giving you a call. I know it's been a very long time since you and I haven't talked. I got some good news for you. We met at the practice company where we both did business. I want you to know that we have made the best decision, and I'm going back into contacting people, and your name came up on my list. I want to be able to bless your home where you can stop trading time for dollars because her husband works very hard. And I said, our mission, my wife and I are in a mission to be able to help more families achieve what we have achieved, which is time freedom and leverage. If you're interested in knowing more about it, I'm leaving you a video. So the recording was maybe like 54 seconds. I left that. Right away, she gave me a little heart. She answered with a little heart. And then she replied, thank you so much for thinking of me and my family. I'm going to watch the video. And I'm gonna look forward in having a conversation with you because I think I'm ready for a change. See, these are the conversations that you got to be having. So I'm having like 5, 6, 7 conversations like that daily, every single day. Why? Because we're looking. So we are in a very uncomfortable situation right now because in order for us to be able to maximize this compensation plan, we got to continue to grow the list of contacts. So being shy, being fearful does not pay your bills. You have to think about your game plan for success. And MWR has enough money to pay us. Think about having tremendous returns on the compensation plan. Where would you invest your money? Let's go back to this over here. Exactly where we were right here. Right there. What would you do with your money? Look, I guarantee you're going to be in these two spots right here. You're going to be doing the diversified cash flow account, private reserve accounts, precious metals, land banking, trust my assets to pay a lot less taxes, right? This is the scenario right here. But it starts with maximizing the compensation plan. And believe me, when you're making $30, $40, $50,000 a month on a consistent basis, you can do so much with money like that. It feels good. It feels good because when you got parents that are retired already, it feels good to be there to serve them. kids, when they're looking for someone that calls the shots and they think of you, it feels amazing. It really does. I mean, the fruits of your labor are going to be compensated when you see a smile in your kid's face, that you become their heroes. See, that's why you can't be shy, because every time you hide behind the cameras, every time you don't pick up the phone, you're telling your family, I'm not ready to win in this business. See, I'm talking to you from the bottom of my heart because I want you to think about how much we have with MWR. But if we keep this to ourselves, we're not going anywhere with it. Okay. So, active income, for now, you got to, right now, I'm creating a lot of active income. Why? Because I want to be able to create another semi active income stream by building leaders until eventually it becomes a residual income. So the minute that you start to experience residual income is when you have helped someone become a 3-star executive director. You put a lot of the active effort with them, and then it became semi-active when they were maybe a 2-star executive director, and it becomes more residual income. It's like a property, right? You invest in real estate property, what do? You got to fix it up if you have to, put it together so people can live in there, right? And then it becomes a semi-active proposition of a platform until it becomes a residual income. Once you rent it out, it's residual income. This business is the same way. A person is a community, not one person. When you bring someone in the business, you're going to have to put a lot of active work with them until it becomes a little semi-active, because now they start to become independent. Now you get residual income. Okay. So wherever you are now, I just hope and I pray to God that eventually everything that you do is passive residual income. Okay, because it's going to take some grind. You're going to have to do a lot of active work, semi-active work when you're developing the project until it becomes a full-blown residual income project that it works on its own. It has a life of its own. Okay, so okay, so here we go. All right, so for folks, there's folks that are going to come in that have some money to invest already, and maybe they have a good credit, right? Um, or they just choose to become our customers. $100. So they choose to become our directors. $249.97. This right here is an amazing way to start everything. See, $100 to initiate your business plus $149.97 is $249.97, right? So with this starting point right here, you can eventually work your way up into 36 memberships, building your residual income to $1,500 a month plus your bonuses, or you refer people to Fundable 360. All right. And then eventually work your way into a monthly residual income. So see, the quickest way to big money is $249.97. If you were to put me in a position where to start, even having the money, $249.97. All day, $249.97. Why? Because the revenue sharing plan has so much in store for all of us. So your network determines your net worth. The saying your network is your net worth emphasizes on the importance of building strong relationships in various aspects of life, including career, social life, and even personal development. A strong network can open doors to new opportunities, offer valuable insights, and provide support on times of need. That's what a network is. And that's why I love to working with each and every one of you guys. Ron, Jameson, seeing you come here, learning, taking advantage of the opportunity, Dr. G.W. Parker, Elisa, everybody, Lovey, anybody that shows up, this is what we see. Exactly what we see. We're surrounded with the best leaders our company has. All right. Okay. So lastly, I'm going to train on this a little bit right here. Hold on. Is the 4 things that we do. Learn to become a network marketing professional. Learn to master the skill of selling what we do. Okay. Meanwhile, you're going to be supported. You're here working for yourself, but you're never going to be working by yourself. Recruiting and supporting is what we do at all times. That's why we have trainings. We have trainings almost every day. And we're so thankful that the company has come out to support the field. Awesome. We're relying on bigger synergy. Duplicating is what we teach, and leading by example. Okay, so network marketing offers so much value in terms of training and support. The beauty about this business is that you are not alone. You're always supported, and we're going to pour into you. Why? Because we see the bigness of the people that we work with. Each and every one of you, honest truth, I don't see you generating three-star executive director money. We see you generating $15,000 a day. You know why? Because that's what we see of ourselves. So whatever we see of ourselves, we see it in you. And that's why we work very hard to be able to make this work so you can feel that you're not alone, that you got your team partners paying the price with you, working the list of contacts. In network marketing, the whole point is not to sell a product, but to build a network, an army of people who are all representing that same product or service to share with others. And that's exactly what we do here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we are an army of leaders with a selling system aspect and a compensation plan that pays to duplicate. That's what it does. It pays to duplicate. The numbers are the numbers, and we have to accept the fact that this is the way it's supposed to look. We can all start at the bottom, right? But we don't have to stay here for a very long time. Recruiting reality in an organization. 70% of the people that come into your business will do zero. Why? Because they don't get trained. 20% of the people that do the business are going to bring one and two by luck. 5% are the people that are going to start getting some training. They bring 3 to 5 people, and then 3% are going to bring anywhere between 6 to 9, and they're preparing to win. By the time you position yourself to bring 10 plus, you have already become one of the masterpieces that we're developing is someone that knows for a fact that you can bring 10 people. Okay, so you gotta transition from wherever you're starting until you get here. Once you get here, you're on the other side. And this should take you no more than 90 days to do. No more than 90 days. All right. And you can get it done. But you got to have a sense of urgency to be able to get here. And I'm not saying that. It's Mr. Eric Ward. GoPro, he studied the numbers. So all we do is plug into what he teaches, and we make sure that we master that. All right. So the difference maker is training to invite, recruit, and teach others to do exactly the same thing. Lastly, and I'll leave you with this, and then we'll finish our training. Looking at your team regarding those who have recruited 10 or more. 2%, your business is in decline mode. 2% and less. 2% stable, not growing. That means only 2% are doing the recruiting with you. 3% of your team is a solid growth. 4% of your team has momentum, and 5% is rocket ship. And I've seen these numbers work. When we had 21,000 memberships active, we had 50 people wearing a ring in our team. 21,000 people, 50 people wearing the ring. These were people that were generating 6 figures plus in our organization, in our previous company. So it takes time to build leaders. We did that business for 13 years. We made our first 6-figure income 5 years in the business. And we didn't really find the leaders until we were like 10 years in the business. We generated a lot of money, but the business of leadership code broke. Once we were not, probably less than 10, 7 years, we were already generating 6 figures. But 7 years, the business went on cruise control, and it went out of control. It grew so much, it was ridiculous, the kind of growth our organization had. It gives you so much peace of mind because now leaders are only using you to run events. But this is what it takes. So once you have a group of 100 people, you're going to have 5% of the people doing the work, and you're going to see it. So the bigger your team, the more these numbers begin to make sense. So if you're not there yet, first, you got to become a part of this right here. Right there, 2%. Bring 10 people, and magic will begin to happen in your business. Okay? All right. So we're going to wrap up with this, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to take too much time, and and maybe you got questions or you want to share something that you're taking with you today. I'd rather have a conversation with you before we leave. Anyone?
Hey, Fernando.
Ron, my friend, how are you?
Doing well. I had a little aha. You said something that I hadn't really heard before, or if I did, it just went right over my head. Each person is their own little community. And for me, that just rang the bell of one person will bring you a possibility of 100. You just need to ask for the referral. And don't forget to do that. And I guess that's where I'm going with it. And
That's right. Yes, Ron. Well, Ron, I want to take you back to how we met. Remember, Lou Brown
yep, I
brought
do.
you all, and here's how we were able to get, so everybody can understand the story of how we met this incredible leadership team. The way we did it was, this takes me back to 2010 when I was starting network marketing for the second time. I was dropping off 20 business cards per day, Ron,
Mhm.
and in one of those business cards that I dropped into an office, a tax professional office, I went in there and I says, "Can I leave you my business card?" And the gentleman asked, "What is it?" "Well, we specialize in helping people with credit." "Oh, I work with a company that does credit, but they're going out of business." I said, "Really?" "Yeah." "Well, let me take your information down and see, what is that we can do working together." He goes, "Sure." And as a matter of fact, I might have a friend that is interested. Okay. So this gentleman introduced me to a lady by the name of Jennifer Beach. Jennifer Beach was a realtor. So he was in Texas and she was a realtor, but they were good friends. They were both from the Philippines. So then it's big community, as a matter of fact, and they cook really good food. I was invited to eat their plates, delicious. So then after that, I met with Jennifer. Jennifer signed up in 2010, but she ended up quitting. I was running already, with a full force with a team. So she ended up quitting, and I ended up promoting myself in social media, Facebook. I opened up a little office to run events. So she saw me there in Facebook promoting. Well, run. In 2014, she goes, "Fernando, I'm ready to sign up again." She ends up signing up, and she brings me to an event with a gentleman by the name of Daniel Penley. Remember Daniel Penley, Ron?
I do. I do.
Daniel Penley, Green Apple Basket. Well, Daniel Penley introduces me to Jenny Chang. You remember Jenny Chang, Ron?
Yes, sir. I do.
Jenny Chang goes, "Fernando, I know of a gentleman. He's my mentor. His name is Lou Brown." I said, "Great. He's going to be in town. I'm going to be running an event with him, and I want you to meet us for lunch." That was the beginning of meeting someone that brought a ton of people, including you.
Hmm.
And look, it happens. It all started in 2010, Ron.
Yes. Yep. That's when I
So
joined.
exactly. And meanwhile, that happened. We were making money, working with other teams, prospecting, enjoying the process until we met you all. And you guys exploded. Luke won cruises, he won the ring, car paid for, and things like that. So all you need to find is just that one person, and we don't know who. That's why we have to build a list big enough. And you tell me you got 10,000 people. My God, with those numbers, Run,
Hmm.
you can explode your business like there's no tomorrow.
Just the commitment to doing the work
Yep. So Ron,
continually.
you got it, man. You got 10. Imagine, ladies and gentlemen, Ron told me the other day he's got 10,000 people that he can talk to in his list of contacts. I only have
Yep.
3,000, 4,000. You beat me by 6, 7,000.
I'm a little older than you.
Huh?
I said I'm a little older than you.
It's okay. Well, let's get together and roll up our sleeves. We can make a few calls together. Just give me the numbers. We'll get on a Zoom and we'll make some calls together. And I'll talk on your behalf and say that I met them through you.
I was making reference to I have 10 and you had three or something like seven or whatever it was. I've been keeping
Hmm.
them for a long time.
Yeah. Well, let's make a good use of all those contacts because hey, worst comes to worst, we talk to 500 and you end up finding a handful of leaders there.
Hmm. Yes, they're there.
Your business will take off to the moon and
Thank
you'll
you.
be financially set with MWR in 3 short years.
Let's do it in less.
12 months.
Okay.
Right. Huh?
I said, okay.
Let's do this. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, anyone else? All right. So we're going to let you get back to your doings. We have until tomorrow night to be able to wrap up the rank up promotion. I'm doing everything I can, and I know you are too. So let's work this list of contacts. And if you need anything, reach out to Dr. GW Parker. You can reach out to myself, but we're going to get it done. Right? Take care, everyone. Have a good night. Bye.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Ron. Bye.
Thank you. Amazing
Jameson.
training.
All right,
Thank-
buddy.